Hi, people of the internet. Welcome to another episode of the pod. On today's conversation, I have JJ folorunso, Jeremiah folorunso. He's a mentor, a designer, and the host of the podcast Designers Hub. We talked around the lack of innovation in social media space when it comes to designing applications for people to interact with. The updates on Twitter, threads, and how designers and creatives play a very vital part into all those designs. We also discuss around how the algorithm of applications work. Algorithms make an application better over the UI of the application. And why Pinterest is a very, very interesting application in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet, as you listen to this episode, may you be blessed. Kindly do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this with somebody else. Also share your feedbacks on what you think at the end of the show in the show notes below. With that being said, this podcast is produced by the Kim Creatives. As you listen, may you be blessed.
So I don't know. Do I do my intro? Or you do.
No, you do. It's your show. This is
You
your
don't have
show.
an intro. You don't have no. You don't
I
have an intro.
do. Like for
And
this
you do your
one, I
intro.
don't have, but I have an intro.
You like is it pre-recorded or like something that you say while like live on?
I have a pre-recorded and I have the one I say. It just depends on how this will work. I even did one overnight, so. But I can.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry. I'll just try.
do intro now. Do your
Uh,
intro now. Do your intro now. I'll wait.
okay. So, welcome everybody. It's great to have you guys here once again. This is your not so design driven podcast. This is not just design particularly. So, I'm with someone called Jones, one very weird and random human being that doesn't like when they are hyping me on the group chat. But regardless, my name is Jeremiah Folorunso, and I'm a product designer and a design tutor as well. I enjoy talking to designers and creatives and techies generally. Enjoy talking about their journeys, their struggles, and what makes the journey tick basically. Today I will be talking to John. I still wonder where the name came from, but we're going to hear that part today. I was talking to drones on a topic that even me, I don't know, it's just long. There's a story behind it and I was trying to research on it, but yeah, maybe I'll tell the story later. But yeah,
We're going to talk about social apps. Now, this discussion was brought up like before even what's it called threads came out. However, it's just a good coincidence that we have threads. But before we get to threads, social apps, right? I have had the buttons to the left, right, or up there, blah blah blah, bam. The same thing with this application called Trello. Did you ever use Trello? Is it Trello? No. Triller. Did you ever use Triller?
no, it's only Badu that okay, so that's quite your story. That's fine.
Bad boy.
Okay.
You use Badu. They told us that year that if we use it, we go to.
Oh wow. And now are you sure of going to heaven, even though you didn't use it?
It's sure for me now. If you know sure for you,
Oh
it's
yeah,
sure for
now
me.
you guys. Oh yeah, now you there. Okay, well I didn't use Twilio. I didn't. I tried to. Well, like
I used Triller. Triller was like I think it came out pandemic time. Triller had very similar features to what we have now for TikTok. The thing with Triller, you could make videos and post them. I use Triller. It's probably disgraceful videos of me, so please don't do that. However, I I use Triller, and using TikTok was almost very similar thing. You could make videos and edit videos in it, and it's not that there's no difference. The difference is just the marketing. It's the same fucking product, just different names and like different locations of buttons. So with TikTok, you have it here. With Triller, it was the same thing. With what's it called? When IG Reels came out, the same thing. With IG, you now had double likes and you had the IG features, but with same pattern. When these guys brought their own to shorts, YouTube shorts, it's the same thing. Like there's no innovation in the design. It's just the same bullshit, just different locations.
I think that they are all stealing from themselves. The question is just who started the stealing. Because in fact, maybe Facebook was the earliest, but they all look the same, or maybe they all have like similar value propositions. Sorry for the big words. They're all selling us the same thing, addiction. I use Twitter, right? And there was this one by Google one time, like Google Photos. Well, it's not Google Photos. I can't remember the name. I think I used that as well. I think they shut down services for that, and they all like seemed the same. Like there were no changes. Everything just felt the same. Looking back and taking into consideration now with the invention of Thread and their online bats, I'm like, you know what? It's just FOMO that is making us to use this application. It's not like there is
I swear,
any
it's just,
anything
it's just.
different. Just FOMO, fear of missing out. But all the best for them. The main thing is to just sell my market and to find prospective feminine students. It's again, and wherever they are, I'll
uh,
be. Okay.
don't let the female feminists come for you. Don't do
Ah,
that.
cover myself with the blood of Jesus. Okay.
uh,
Yeah. So, uh, since we're talking about innovations, I mean new applications, I want to ask, which is your favorite and which one are you like most conversant with?
hmm. Right now it's Twitter, and I will speak solely from like user perspective and design perspective. Twitter is just it for me. Number one, regardless of whatever Elon is doing, as somebody in tech and as a designer, I understand that he's trying out shit and trying to see what works. So he's trying out things and he's trying to see what works, right? And I don't see that as a wrong thing. Like, well, he's limiting tweets, he's doing this while you're paying for this. Me, that I'm not paying for it. I still have access to use Twitter as a user now. As a user, I still have access to use Twitter. I still get to tweet. I still get to see tweets. The 6,000 tweets, I don't consume up to 6,000 tweets a day. What am I doing there? Right? I see tweets, I research, I look for people online that interest me, DM them, and move on. Right? That's the user perspective for me. I enjoy like the interface and every other thing around it still works well for me. It's a smooth application, right? And I don't have issues with it. It doesn't crack in between. That's fine. From designer's point of view, it's still the same thing. Like there's no new thing. You can bookmark or see more data. See maybe the algorithm has changed, but after every 5 tweets or 4 tweets, you then see an ad. I don't have an issue with it. I skip the ad and keep on tweeting. Like I don't like to me, there's no difference. Maybe there are users that want something more from Twitter, but I can't see that more. I can't see that what else do you want? I don't know. That's why Twitter is just my favorite. It's just a plain battlefield where I can say shit. I like that.
You know, my thought is quite controversial, right? Well, in a way, it's my favorite Elon in this. So this is my thought process about even the whole Twitter limiting tweets and trying to monetize their product. I think from a user perspective, right? Yeah, it's a bit it's not. It doesn't really help the users because for some persons they consume more than less. Is it 6,000? They consume more than 6,000 tweets as they go. I know a couple of persons that before 12 o'clock, their limit they've exhausted. That's 12 p.m. So obviously those ones they would need to probably wait till the next day or see or just pay for the Twitter blue tick. But my thought really is that for business purposes, it's like a solid decision, right, to be made, honestly. Because we are all thinking about the users, we're not thinking about the business. I mean, you see a lot of designers like tackling him and asking why he made such a why he made such a decision. But then there's the question of if Twitter shuts down today because they did not have revenue or they did not have enough money to pay their staff, what would happen? I think it's in 50-50, some parts on Elon supporting him and the other part on the user saying that maybe they could have just left the over unlimited or the unlimited tweet for us. But yeah, that's like my thought process. That I don't know. In case you are listening, one way or the other, please just take it like that. I like to talk things. Yeah.
Twitter is
Maybe
your
sir,
is
I
your
know.
best.
Ah, do I
What's
have
up?
it there? No. I've left my old age. WhatsApp is not for older people. I've grown younger again. I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I just have some that I use for certain reasons. For example, when I am very lazy and I in my mind I decide that today I want to be as lazy as hell. I just open TikTok and I don't know how they just like get me hooked. Uh,
Mhm.
or maybe when I'm bored, just in between work, I open YouTube and I just stumble on YouTube shorts and this their nonsense, endless scrolling just keeps me going for like 7 hours. Then maybe Instagram. I don't really have a favorite. Honestly, I don't. Uh, and I think it's
Now,
weird
let me ask
because
you a
I'm a
question.
Gen Z and Gen Zs have their favorite. Oh yeah, go ahead.
The way it is, you just talked about the endless scrolling. What makes the application? What makes the app? Is it the UIs and the designs or the algorithm?
Hmm. Solid question. Jeremiah, let your brain think. Okay, so what makes the application? I think it's a combination of both, right? I think that if the UI because of okay, wait, let me take from this perspective. I think that we live in a very modern world, right? Where everything is supposedly modern, like everything is newer
Mm-hmm.
compared to what it was like 5, 6 years ago. So I think that if you create an application that the interface is not as fine or neat, I mean, people would not stick with it because there are better choices, right? Regardless of the algorithms. Because the first thing that sells a user is the interface. It's just like this band between Spotify and Apple Music, right? The only thing that really is helping Apple Music is the fact that the interface isn't bad. But if we're talking about algorithms, maybe Spotify is a bit better. I like to differ sometimes, but please, I know you're a Spotify person, but that's by the way. So, okay, so back to the social media application. I think that it's a matter of both. The interface is really sleek and nice. Then also the algorithm is equally sleek and nice. So the interface onboards the user, or the interface attracts the user, then the algorithm keeps the user. He attracts me, the interface attracts me. I like how it looks. Then the algorithm, the endless scrolling keeps me addicted, more or less. I get stuck with it for
So
hours.
okay. So like if you if the application was ugly, let's say the application was not as fine as you wanted it to be, but it had a good algorithm, like it still would this still keep you scrolling? If you use it once, maybe the like button are in different locations, right? If you had like the algorithm was so good, it showed you every necessary content that you need to see. Would that keep you there?
The question is, what am I doing here first if the interface is not fine? That's
What are
like
you
one
doing
question.
there?
What am I doing here? I
Oh,
okay, so it's different, right? If I randomly stumble on the application and the interface is not fine, I most definitely leave in. But if it is that someone refers it to me, like someone like Jeremiah, you would see nice content on this application. I think that I will most definitely want to stay on, right? I mean, I have a reason to visit it, so I might bypass the nonsense interface or the ugly looking interface and just focus on the content I'm saying. But as a new user, just like someone that just randomly downloads Instagram, the question is, I don't think I would say, I don't think that I would even keep using the application because first off, there are most definitely existing applications that may even offer better algorithms than you yourself. We live in a world where, let me even give you one small tip. So,
This is a really quick break. The episode is not over. I want to put this here as a reminder for you to go check out this episode that's coming out next week. It's part one of my conversation with Ibukunlua IBK, or for long, IBK. She's a friend of mine and a really good designer. We worked on projects together and even won jobs together. I discussed with her around the topics of growing up, getting married, finding jobs, working multiple jobs at the same time, also trying to find your footing in tech. It's a very interesting conversation because her perspective to life is way very, very funny. I suggest you subscribe. The link to that episode will be in the description. Apologies for that breaking. So now let's get back to our conversation with JJ Folorunso. As you listen, may you be blessed.
we live in a world where, let me even give you one small tip. So, this event that just recently ended, this Founders Connect event, we had like a couple of big men in the industry come talk, and there was one particular statement that struck my eye. They were talking about Nigerian users, more or less how you use revenue to attract users by doing giveaways and all of those things. And you
Mm.
mentioned something that Nigerian users are fake users, and I agree actually. Hmm. I don't mean we are fake human beings, but yeah, we are fake users. We basically just move wherever we basically just move regardless of what is happening. So if today Facebook says they're giving us 1,000 naira, right?
Bam.
The next moment WhatsApp says they're giving us WhatsApp 1,000 naira, we leave Facebook and we move to WhatsApp immediately. We are not even wasting time. Or even threads. If they say they're giving everybody blue tick, right? They say they're giving everybody blue tick. Literally everybody leaving Twitter today and moving to threads. Even Elon Musk himself will leave Twitter
Nah.
because well I'm
For
just
swear.
by just
For
playing.
for beauty.
I
For beauty.
I'm just playing. But I'm surprised. I think he should have even registered. He needs to have an account on the application. What do you mean?
Nah.
But yeah, the person was just like walking us through how not so dependent you should be on Nigerian users in particular. And I think this explanation is not even just for Nigerians. I think it's for like users generally. We are usually driven by most of us are driven by gain or what you can gain. So once you see that we can gain something from one part over another, we just leave. So if we're saying that one application does not have fine interface, obviously there will be an application that will have finer interface maybe and probably even have a better algorithm. We even
I
sorry,
think
I like talking. Okay, go ahead, Friday. Let me save that for
it's
the last.
fine.
Let's
Mhm.
I'll just give you
Fine.
one gist again more next week.
Yeah, give me the gist now. I the whole gist.
Oh
No, the
yeah.
whole I'm above from. Yeah.
So ah this is me starting off. You see, next time try to attend such kind of event. I know why you didn't attend, but for the best. So we had like the one of the co-founders of PDVest, right, come talk to us after that Odun, and he mentioned
Yeah.
something about this feature. Before PiggyVest used to have like this referral system where you can come and when you refer someone and you earn like 1,000 naira. So apparently
Mm.
Nigerians grew smarter than the system. I believe that I was one of the Nigerians. So we can
How?
so all you need is just to refer somebody and once they create an account and once they make their first deposit or so, like not necessarily deposit, once they save their first money, you earn like I think 1,000 naira. Me and my friends. So what we did is that we just created random accounts, right? And
Ah,
well, not necessarily random accounts. We just created accounts for people that do not need the product, and we
I was
deposit a
collecting my
thousand.
1K.
Yeah, I still know a friend that still has about 9,000 or 11,000 in the product. I think it was around the time they stopped the system that he
Ah.
that he did his own. So all the best for him. I mean, I made that money. But that's like a definition of like Nigerian users, right? On how we easily move from one system to another just because we want to get some level of incentives. Could be money, it could be I don't know, features or even digital fame or something. But yeah, does that maybe help answer the question?
In terms of incentives for like using product, now that sells like from a product perspective, like from somebody who is like a founder, you see like basically what you just said is Nigerians will move for where there is an incentive to use the product, regardless of how the product is. So if you see all these loan apps, right? The incentive that some people go there for is like, hey, if you refer somebody with the loan app, you get an extra whatever, whatever. That's fine. For users like Nigerians, even after referring them, after them being there, what do you think would want them to remain, like to stay, even as hard as we are Nigerians? Like, what kind of thing do you think would help the users remain there on the application, regardless of the application, or you can be specific on which industry that some tricks would work?
Mhm. So I think regular updates is one that keeps users, right? And that's one thing that since I can leave social media, I can just bring in Sigma into play. Um, the fact that Figma is a design tool, but Figma is like a community tool that your opinions are heard. I think that's one thing that really does keep people. When if I'm making use of Instagram and I share them an update and I'm like, hey, can you try to do this? And the next update, I see it being implemented. I'm like, wow, man. Gradually, I become a loyal user, right? And I become someone that has a stake but does not have a stake in the company. So it means that they are listening to me. I think in that way it helps keep users. I think that helps keep users. Then I think regular improvement. It's still under updates, but regular improvement in the sense of when there's a general complaint of something or the general public says that they do not so much agree with something, try to improve on it. Remember that time where WhatsApp brought this nonsense feature that if you are not online, you're not able to see the status updates of people that
Yeah,
post.
that was bullshit.
One very nonsense thing. That thank God they try to remove it. I mean that's really chill, right? It means that are listening to their users. So regular updates and listening to users is key. I believe, right, to how they put it. Yeah, take it like that. Regular updates is key to like keeping your users or keeping users hooked. Then what else? At times incentives can work, but how about not using incentives in the way of how about not using incentives in the way of monetary value? How about using it in terms of intangible value, something that maybe they can't hold on to? So we can say
That,
ambassadorship. There's something that some of these products does, like Google and the likes. And I think Google has, I think Facebook has something like that. They have like these ambassadors, at times student ambassadors, that sometimes make the
yeah,
noise about their product. And I think that really
one
helps.
of
Yeah, you don't collect money. Wow. Because I know they used to pay them. Well, I don't know if they pay them sharp. Yeah.
you don't need to pay,
So
you don't need to pay. They will give you swag, they give you access to like all the ambassadors around the world. They give you access to like meet people and talk like so. The access and the swags and the access
mm-hmm.
to fund. So if you want to host an event, they can send you money to host that event. So those are one of those benefits that come with
That's nice. So wow.
it. Yes, I'm done.
Well, I'm past that stage, but yeah. So basically, doing things like that really helps. You are moving away from the aspect of giving monetary value to giving actual value that will benefit the lives of people. I think that could help keep users as well. Okay. Then you now turn. I think what will now happen is that you're turning them from users to I don't know. We like call them product owners or part of the company, especially. So yeah, that's like my tiny take. Even though I took like 10 minutes to share it.
That's cool. So there's something I want to share. Drawing us back to
Mm-hmm.
the algorithm thing. Do you know what metadata is? I can explain it.
Please explain. I don't think I
Okay, nice.
know book like that.
Okay, okay, cool. So now, how algorithms, right? What would I say? How the system or the computer suggests videos for us is through metadata. So on and on, the programs are getting better, like to read what is in a video. However, they can't.
Just
However,
yes, I'm admiring
they
myself
can't watch
now. Just continue.
this guy. However, these computers can't watch the video. They only read some data. This is called metadata, which, for example, is the name of the video, the title, the description, comments, right, that you type in, like, all those little tags and, this thing that you add, hashtag. That's how the computer understands what's happening in the video, right? Now, and the people you follow and what they like. So it takes all the information like, oh, this video has this, right? This person that is Mr. A likes some of these things that are here. I'm going to show it to Mr. A. Now, Mr. A is probably not following you, but because they like the same thing, they get access to that content, right? And they can see it and then move on. If Mr. B is following you, automatically the algorithm will be like, oh, Mr. B is following him. He doesn't like all the five things that this video has, but he likes one, but he's following this person. You prioritize showing the video to Mr. B. So that's basically how the algorithm is in like in a nutshell. Every other thing is just each company owning a part of their IP that works better. So when it comes to pictures, it's more difficult because the computers can't tell exactly what's inside. So if you post a picture of yourself, right, the computer does not know it's you. They don't know what you're wearing. They don't know what's inside. But they can figure that out with the kind of comments and this thing that you add inside. I feel that one of the most underrated but really good algorithm for an application is Pinterest. Pinterest
Mm,
has very low like communication and people chat and stuff, but people post a lot.
yeah.
And if you post a picture or if you like a picture in Pinterest and you open the picture and you see the suggestions that that picture gives you, they're all very similar. Like it works like it's like they are using an algorithm that is from another world
Mhm.
to run Pinterest. Like if you look at a picture of boots, one boot, and then you look at another type of boot within the suggestions, you see the same thing. Like it's very, very similar. It works well. And when you want to post on Pinterest, they don't ask you for too much information, right? How that works now, this is just all of what I'm saying is just a tangent. But like how that works, I have no idea. Maybe something I may even do a video about, just research and do a video about it and just figure out how Pinterest algorithm works. That it just works really well. But that's just by the way. Yeah, that's just by the way.
I
We
want to make a comment on Pinterest. So I think what makes um so come on, Jamie, I have crayfish here. But last bite, so I think what makes
what's that? You have what?
I have crayfish here in case if you like to join me. So
Oh, nice. Don't
I
worry.
think I think what makes Pinterest stick as well is that the data that it collects isn't just from one source. They collect data from different sources, from Dribble, from Behance, from I don't know. I've been seeing from Google as well. I think it collects from WhatsApp, and it's really chill. Because when you click on an image and you are trying to click on the external link, it will take you to the point where it comes from. And I think maybe what it does, this is like purely based on assumptions. Maybe what it does is that it collates the data from that source, then analyzes it himself in its source, then purchases it to make the English work. Start give it out to the users and then makes it like I don't know, makes it right for whoever is viewing it person. If that makes sense. Does it make sense? Let's give it this. Doesn't. So please ask
Probably.
your next question.
I'll I'll make that video. I would work on that video. So if you are
I
watching this,
think it
you
will
can
really
subscribe to
help.
the YouTube to know how that video works. The name of the video already how Pinterest works or how Pinterest fucking works. Anyway, that was by the way. I think we've talked about TikTok. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and yeah. Before we get to threads, let's chat. Have you used the app
I,
before? I'm going to download it now.
don't
I'm on my way to go and download it.
old man like me. Mm.
Have
And
you
you know
used
the
it on the
funny
app?
thing is, no, I've not. You know the funny thing is that, yeah, there was one time in my life that I was going the what they call the influencer way. So there was one account I had on Instagram. I had so many followers at the time. Hmm. I tried
Are
deleted
you
it.
serious?
Just take it like I'm not joking. I deleted it. I tried deleted. I didn't. I had like a number of. I somewhat knew how to like attract followers and all of those. I mean, organic followers, not the one that you buy. But yeah, I am. I don't think I even have up to. I think I have about 900, maybe 800 followers on Twitter. Then maybe
Man,
about 900 or I don't have up to 800 on Instagram. I think maybe barely 500. But it's really nice to see that 500 human beings are following me. Wow. Ah, yeah, man. No people. Okay, so I'm
oh my
supposed to
god.
download threads here.
Yeah, I'm going now to download not this threads. Um,
Oh,
let's
sorry.
chat.
I have a question to even ask you concerning threads here.
That was a blissful listen. Thank you for listening all through the episode. I really, really appreciate it. For the next part of this conversation with JJ folorunso, we discuss around very interesting topics. For example, the lack of thoughtfulness when it comes to the act of following an individual and how designers have played a part in making following an individual very unthoughtful. when it comes to social media applications. I think this is a conversation worth having.
Last reminder, you can check out the conversation I had with IBK. She's a very funny person. She has deep thoughts. It's a very, very interesting dynamic.
Moving forward, as a listener of this pod, I please and kindly urge you to scroll down on Spotify, or if you're not on Spotify, check the show notes on anywhere you're listening to this, and just tell me your thoughts on if I should keep splitting the episodes into 2. This will really help know how much we should move the episode forward and how we should move the podcast forward.
Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for sitting to this end. See you in the next one.